music. Well, music is different on a technical standpoint. It's different sound frequencies multiple sound frequencies that work together to create something more. So very similar to how maybe in a drawing, one line, two lines put together makes something more than themselves by itself. I feel the same way about music, where you take all these tones, and when they come together, they create something that's more powerful.
Music to me is something that you can make an emotional connection to without having to speak or communicate directly with another person. And it's something that touches your heart and your soul and kind of consumes you.
Well, I guess for me, music was a very universal thing, coming from a family that's Native American, Filipino, and Scottish, and now I have family in Korea now, so it's kind of all folded itself in together. So for me, music is very universal, and it's my way of communicating with my family members, with people that I meet in coffee shops, and people that I meet on stage in theater productions or dancing.
All sorts of things, friends, family, hard times, good times, really anything. You can think about any important event in your life, you can sit down and write a song about it.
I think part of it is the performance aspect. I love being up on a stage and performing in front of people. Like, to me, that's just like the greatest feeling in the world, besides like hugs. And that's something that I want to be able to do for the rest of my life. And I think the other part of it is just that music has so much emotion in it. And it's definitely a way that I can express myself, and like I turn to it when I need to be comforted, or, when I'm happy and I want to celebrate, like in gospel choir. That's just great.
There are two different aspects to this. There's one when I'm listening or watching music being performed, and then I think there's also performing music, because I think two different things drive me. I'll start with listening and watching music. I think what drives me is what I can take from that and apply to my own musicianship. So if I was listening to Esperanza Spalding, just to name someone, I would listen to her bass lines and say, oh, I should try that in my bass lines because I'm a bass player. And as a musician, that's how I listen to it. I can't speak for people that aren't, but I know that's what musicians usually go through when they're listening to it. Then there's the performing aspect, where what drives me, I don't know what drives me. I just kind of do it. It's, I think something I haven't found the answer.
When I was a kid, I had an unhealthy obsession with Kiss. So I wanted to be just like Peter Criss. So my parents bought me a drum set, and I've been a drummer since I was 5.
A little before 6th grade, my dad had an old trumpet sitting in storage for like 30 years, and instead of buying a new instrument, I just decided to take the one I already had, and I learned that I really loved it and I had a skill for it. And from then on, I just kept wanting to improve what I could do, and just kept playing in every band possible, graduating as a major band geek, picking up other random instruments along the way, like keyboard and Irish tin whistle. And I just like how that made me feel.
I was actually pretty late. I remember 5th grade when the movie Drumline came out. I wanted to be in a drumline, so I joined the drumline at my school, and I did that for a year. But after that, I kind of dropped music, and I didn't really get into music until kind of like 2005. And then once I kind of got into it, then I was just music all the way. I knew that I couldn't do anything else besides music.
I guess when I was born. So my whole life, my mom played singers and standards, and my papa played folk music, my grandmother played bluegrass, and my dad listened to rap. And that was the entirety of my life.
Well, basically, it's kind of my cultural background is actually like Native American, so I'm not used to like what they are doing because I'm not actually introduced to it. But I'm interested if there was ever an opportunity.
Well, I come from Jewish descent, so music is a really big part of a Jewish service, at least at the temple that I was raised in. And so that being part of my religion, I feel like I have more of a connection to it. Not just that type of music, but all music, because it was such a big part of, like, traditionally and culturally how I was brought up.
A lot, actually. I write a lot about it. I'm from Detroit, and I don't know if you guys know about it, but the reputation is really negative, and when you go to Detroit, it's not as bad as the reputation, but it looks as bad as far as visually because of a lot of vacant lots, and the economy is really bad there, so it just looks really impoverished, and I just write a lot about that.
Yes and no. It was more because in a protest of the fact that in Connecticut every single band played nothing but hardcore, me and my friends decided to protest that by playing every single genre possible except hardcore. It's like first we were a thrash metal band, then we were a punk band, then we were an alternative rock band, then a classic rock band, then a funk rock band. Just everything except hardcore was our rule.
A career, hopefully. That would be nice. I think, music is that one thing that's really going to make me happy in life. I need to be around music. I need to be participating in music and, creating music. And, that's like at the end of my life, I would like to look back and be like, okay, I was successful. I did everything that I wanted to do in my life, and I was happy. I don't want to be stuck in a position or like in a career where I'm just like miserable all the time. And I really think that being a part of music for the rest of my life is going to help me have that happiness that I want.
I hope to make a lot of connections, and I hope to further myself as an artist and grow and understand other cultures and other musical styles and find new ways to express myself, along with collaborating with other artists who have different musical experiences than I.
Just kind of like a learning experience, I guess. Like, I don't know, every time I play the piano or sing a song or something, I feel like I learned something about
I hope to just keep growing as a musician, and I like the memories and the bonds that come from it. I definitely made a lot of lifelong friends playing in band back in school, and I love collaborating with people. Got to write an original musical with some friends back home and a professional mentor, and I just love the bond that came out of that and just the experience in general.
I think I would identify myself by that, I don't know, everything I do surrounds it. I always look up musicians or find out how they did a certain chord or different I don't know, how they wrote their music and then try to put it in what I'm gonna do, so that helps out.
I see myself as a writer. It's hard for me to, there's definitely cases when I have to perform songs that I haven't written, for show choir, for high school I did musical theater and stuff like that, but I think that I only see myself pursuing being a singer-songwriter just for myself, because it's hard for me to find someone who kind of has the same views exactly, and I think that I have a hard time trusting people with making sure that they can be on the same page as I am.
The performer, the listener, because I'm majoring in musical theater, so I would hope that I'd get to do that professionally someday and keep on singing and stuff, and I just like buying music and listening to it.